Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to episode 3 of Reentry, a space flight simulator. Got a few tutorials or lessons to scratch off the list here before we go off on a solo mission ourselves. So let's get right to it. For the Mercury project, lesson 5, attitude control. Clunk.
Welcome to the reaction control system tutorial, Player I.
Alright, we're in space already.
In this lesson we will take a look at the various systems of the Mercury capsule that help stabilize it as well as change its attitude relative to Earth. The Mercury space capsule comes equipped with a few systems to keep it stable and control its attitude. To do this, it needs to know where Earth's horizon
is what this thing is.
Two mechanical components called the horizon scanners detect this. Earth emits a lot of radiation, space does not. These scanners detect where a sudden drop in radiation happens, when the scanner goes from the threshold between Earth and space. One horizon scanner is used for pitch and another for roll. These operate periodically, so if you see sudden change in pitch and roll, this is the reason. The capsule comes with 3 gyroscopes that track the attitude and 3 accelerometers for rate indication. These can be slaved to the horizon scanner to get relative data to the Earth's horizon. This is how the capsule knows its orientation in the pitch. Horizon scanner can only look forward with a field of view of +/35 degrees. Same with roll, but it looks to the side. If you are outside of the horizon scanner's field of view, the gyros will revert to free mode. When the gyros are in free mode, the attitude will change based on thruster changes. Over time this can introduce an error in attitude. When the horizon is detected, they will snap back in slave mode and you will see a jump in the attitude indicators. To automatically control the spacecraft in various situations, a system called the Automatic Stabilization Control System, ASCS, is used. In this mode, the spacecraft should be able to orient itself, and keep a given attitude based on the spacecraft's phase in the mission. To maintain or change the attitude,
when's the part where we start touching stuff though?
The spacecraft uses a set of thrusters called the Reaction Control System, RCS. This system can be controlled by the Automatic Stabilization Control System, ASCS, a Backup Rate Stabilization Control System, RSCS, or by manual propulsion, MP. The Reaction Control System, RCS, consists of 18 thrusters that can alter the spacecraft's orientation. These are the thrusters that are used to change pitch, roll, yaw, or modify the capsule's angular rates. The capsule can be oriented and controlled by either an automatic mode using Automatic Stabilization Control System, ASCS, or by one of 3
wire stuff. That was around here somewhere.
Fly-by-wire, manual propulsion,
or that was a
stabilization control system.
Aha.
Let's first focus on the Automatic Stabilization Control System, then return to the other modes later.
Right.
The Automatic Stabilization Control System, ASCS, establishes and maintains a stable attitude using one of 4 basic automatic modes: damper, orientation, attitude hold, and reentry. Let's first get familiar with the controls. In the virtual cockpit, press F6 to move the camera to the stabilization control panel.
Go right here.
A rectangle called ASCS mode select with 3 switches configures the system in conjunction. Currently, the system is configured to use the Automatic Stabilization Control System, ASCS, to control the spacecraft fully automatically. This means that it will slave the gyros to the horizon scanners and use the Automatic Reaction Control System, RCS, system. 2 switches and 1 handle are used
so
to
it
enable
is set
full
to
automatic
normal
control,
already.
and the middle auto switch must be set to auto.
Yep.
Lastly, the black manual handle must be in the in position, like it currently is, unless you messed around.
Nope.
In this mode, the automatic phase shifter system decides the orientation. This system is what rotates the spacecraft 180 degrees in yaw after capsule separation, automatically orients the spacecraft after rotation, maintains orientation, and rolls the spacecraft before re-entry. There are 2 reaction control system, RCS, control systems. One for automatic control called System A, and one for manual control called System B. The Automatic Stabilization Control System, ASCS, mode we just talked about uses Auto RCS System A. The middle auto switch decides which RCS system to use. System A uses two thruster settings, low and high, and consists of 12 thrusters. System B has variable thruster strength based on how far you push the stick, called proportional control, and consists of 8 thrusters. Each of the reaction control system, RCS, systems has its own fuel tank as indicated on the control fuel gauge. The left gauge shows fuel available for auto and the right gauge shows fuel available for manual. A low fuel warning light will be visible if one of the tanks is below 25%. If the automatic stabilization control system, ASCS, fails or you need to manually take control of the automatic reaction control system, RCS, system, you can use the fly-by-wire, FBW, mode.
Click.
This enables you to use your stick to control the attitude. In this mode, you can either fire the low thrusts or high thrusts depending on how far you push the stick.
Oh boy.
Using the keyboard,
We're actually
you
going to
can
control
only
this
fire
thing.
the low thrusts manually. Let's try this mode. The fly-by-wire, FBW, control mode is configured using the same two switches and the same handle, with one exception. Since we are already in ASCS auto mode, all we need to do to set the use W and S to change attitude. Notice that you are burning fuel from the automatic reaction control system, RCS, system.
Ooh, look at the shadow, look at the shadow, look at the shadow.
Small thrusts. You have very limited fuel. If you have time, it's better to use a small thrust and a slow rate to get to your desired orientation. You can enable auxiliary damping to automatically damp out any attitude rates down to 0.5 degrees/second. If you want the spacecraft to stand still, select this mode.
Oh crap. What are we doing? Alright, we're fine.
Let's try this now. Using fly-by-wire, FBW, mode, establish a pitch rate of +/3 degrees/second. This can be achieved using W or S and by monitoring the
I was goofing off.
indicator. Each dot is approximate 1 degree/section. Thrust so the pitch rate needle is at the third dot. Press Roger when done.
Yeah, this should be it. That one, right?
With the rate at 3 degrees/second, set the ASCS auto switch to auxiliary on.
Well, no, that was it.
The rates should now damp to 0.5 deg/section.
Okay. I believe it's doing it.
If you want to go to the fully manual propulsion, MP, system, first set the ASCS to norm. Setting this switch to norm or auxiliary does not really influence manual propulsion, so it can be set to either. But for now, use norm.
Okay, alright, we're on norm.
Then set the middle auto switch to rate COMD. Lastly, pull the black manual handle out.
Okay.
In this mode, you will be able to thrust manually in all directions. This system is available even if the electrical system should fail. Try to change the attitude a bit using WS for pitch, AD for yaw, and QE for roll.
Oh boy. Ah, we're spinning. Don't give yourself vertigo. I might.
So far,
okay.
We have looked at the fully automatic mode, the fly-by-wire, FBW, mode and the manual mode. Let's take a look at the last mode, rate stabilization control system. The rate stabilization control system.
I gotta stop looking at this stuff, Russell. Let's not look at the window.
Mode that enables you to change
That's not helping looking at this thing.
the stick. But if the stick is centered, it will stop any rate momentum down to 3 degrees/second. To enter rate stabilization control system, RSCS, mode, first set the mode switch to norm. This should already be the case. Then set the middle auto switch to rate COMD. This enables reaction control system. Lastly, push the black manual handle in.
Oh, there it goes.
Use W and S to change attitude. Notice you are burning fuel from the Manual Reaction Control System, RCS, System B. In this mode, the angular rates are reduced to 3 deg/sec when you don't give any input. The RSCS will also limit your maximum angular rate to 10 deg/section. This means that you need to hold stick deflection in the direction you wish to change attitude. The rates will build up to 10 deg/sec and then stop firing the thrusters. At this point the capsule will rotate in the direction of the deflection. When you are at the desired attitude, release the stick. The RSCS will damp the rates down to 3 deg/section. Damp the rest yourself.
Okay.
Give this a try now. Deflect the stick to pitch upwards and keep the deflection in, press and hold S. Monitor that the pitch rate builds up to 10 deg/sec and maintains that. Then release and verify rates are reduced to about 3 deg/section. Press Roger when complete.
Yeah. I guess it looks right. If it's wrong, someone please tell me in the comments so I know what I'm doing for my solo mission here.
Use this mode to manually orient the craft so the attitude is 0 yaw, 0 roll, and 0 pitch. Press Roger when complete. Great.
Should be good.
Let's go back to full automatic stabilization control system, ASCS, mode. The ASCS mode switch is already at norm. Set the middle auto switch to
There
auto.
we go.
One last thing I want to mention is the ability to combine the manual modes and the automatic stabilization control system, ASCS.
Here we are burning the automatic
mode.
fuel.
To do this, you still need the mode switch in the norm position and the auto switch in auto position.
Okay.
In this configuration, pull the manual handle out. The capsule will still be in fully automatic mode, but if you pull out any of the pitch, yaw, and slash or roll handles, that select axis will be in manual mode. This is good for letting the automatic stabilization control system, ASCS, control one or two axes while manually controlling the other. Pull the pitch handle now.
Okay.
Try to maneuver the craft in roll, pitch, and yaw. Notice that the ASCS mode controls yaw and roll, so your input is ignored on these axes while you are in control of the pitch. This
Oh, okay. I'm
consumes
trying to
fuel from
roll it
both
right now.
tanks. System A handles yaw and roll, while System B handles pitch. There are more configurations available, but these are the ones you really need to understand. The others are something you can get creative about after learning the basics. To sum up, Automatic Stabilization Control System, ASCS, is the autopilot.
The more you
Attitude
know.
is defined by gyros and horizon scanners. Reaction Control System,
It's all like terminology I
RCS,
remember from Kerbal,
is the
so it's
system
kind
that
of coming
fires
back to me here.
thrusters. It's made up from two systems A and B. A is automatic, B is manual. The Reaction Control System, RCS, is controlled by the autopilot, or manually by fly-by-wire, FBW, Rate Stabilization Control System, RSCS, or manual propulsion, M. I know this was quite a lot, but it's important to understand how to control the capsule. I would recommend checking the Reaction Control System, RCS, chapter in the Mercury Flight Manual 2, and try this lesson again after reading the Flight Modes chapter. Anyways, good job, that's it for now.
Onwards.
Hello Player I, and welcome to the Environmental Control System lesson.
AKA staying alive. Alright, wait to load in here. There we are.
The Environmental Control System, ECS, has one primary job: to keep you alive in normal Earth-like conditions.
Provide oxygen,
This
regulate
means
temperature,
providing
air,
oxygen is supplied
yeah.
at 5.5 psi in the cabin,
As we can see
and has
right there.
two circuits, one through the cabin, and one through the suit. At the launch pad, the cabin is filled with pure oxygen at 16 psi. This bleeds off as the outside atmospheric pressure decreases during ascent. Temperature is regulated by coolers. The amount of equipment and the small scale of the capsule requires coolers to keep a set temperature. Temperature can be regulated by using selectors. They are located on a panel just below the hatch. Cabin temperature can be regulated using the cabin temperature selector.
Suit temp, cabin temp, interior. Is that what it is? Yeah.
There are two environmental circuits, one for the cabin, and one for the suit. Air flows through these circuits, and each has systems to keep them fresh. Water is used as the coolant. Two heat exchangers are used to regulate temperature, one for each circuit. Air is pushed through the cabin and the suit by 3 fan systems. One for the cabin, and 2 for the suit, one primary and one backup. The backup, we have 2 switches for controlling the fans. First, we have one for turning the cabin fan on or off. If this is off, the cabin temperature will increase. Keep it norm. Then we have the switch for manual control of the suit circuit. You can choose between norm, automatic, number 1 for primary fan, or number 2 for the backup fan. After atmospheric entry, the oxygen emergency mode will initiate. This will provide fresh oxygen through the snorkel at a fixed rate, bypassing the fans and heat exchangers. This will trigger an alarm that can be muted using the O2 emmer tone switch. All switches in this row can be used to mute alarms. You can check the amount of oxygen you have left by using the oxygen gauge. You have 2 oxygen tanks, one primary and one secondary. These are controlled automatically. If the cabin pressure is outside the normal range, below 5.5 psi, an alarm will sound. Again, you can silence alarms by the correct tone switch on the right side of the main panel. If you need it, in case of events like a fire, you can decompress the cabin to remove oxygen by pulling the decompress handle.
Oh boy.
Try this now. The cabin pressure is rapidly decreasing, and an alarm will sound. Silence it by setting the correct alarm mute switch to off. Check the cabin pressure gauge. It should now indicate that the cabin pressure is low or 0.
Interesting.
To stop the venting of cabin air, push the decompress handle back in.
Okay, I did it.
You can repressurize the cabin by pulling the repress handle out until the cabin pressure is stable at 5.5 again.
Oh.
When it is at 5.5,
Right,
push
that.
the handle back in.
Quit doing
Note
that.
that this consumes a lot of oxygen. Remember to check your oxygen levels frequently. The far right panel lets you control the temperature. When you are on the sunny side of the orbit, temperature will increase, and on the dark side it will decrease. Use these
that's gonna be
controls
something to
in
keep an eye out
conjunction
for
with the
sure.
temperature gauge. Electric components produce heat too, so it is important to pay attention to the various indicators on board. It is vital to learn what the normal environmental control system, ECS, levels are to understand when something is wrong. Check the gauges frequently. Let's go through all the nominal values each of the environmental control system, ECS, related instruments and gauges should show. Cabin pressure should be around 5.5 psi. Cabin air, temperature, should show between 60 degrees and 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's that nice 80 degrees Fahrenheit still.
The sensor temp should show between 100 degrees and 150 degrees Fahrenheit. The steam vent temperature should show 45 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The suit temperature should show 60 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
PSI is at 5 about 5.
The suit pressure should show 4.0 to
No, that's
6.0 psi.
Yep.
The cabin O2 should show 1.0, 100%. The primary and secondary oxygen levels will be consumed over time. If the primary O2 is depleted, the secondary O2 will start to be consumed. If the secondary O2 is getting low, be prepared to abort, depending on mission time and objectives left. Good job. This
That was
was a
quick.
quick introduction to the Environmental Control System,
Well,
ECS.
got one last
Feel
tutorial.
free to check out the
See you
Mercury
there.
flight manual for more details.
Well, kind of putting it all together here. Got to use the sequencer.
Welcome to the sequencer.
And we're going to have a
retrograde
splashdown
and
here.
landing lesson.
So let's bring this up. Let's get to it.
In this lesson, we will cover the sequence programmer, a system responsible for the event sequencer of the capsule. We will then use the knowledge to execute a retrograde burn with a splashdown in the Atlantic Ocean. First of all, the sequencer handles all automatic events and the ASCS modes by providing power to various electrical systems. The programmer controls the sequence system, the system that controls all the major events and states within a mission. It has a simple user interface. A column of indicators displays the current state. The indicators are a column of lights on the left side of the panel. Each light has 3 states: unlit, normal, and pending. Unlit means that the event has not yet happened, or isn't relevant anymore. Normal is indicated by a green light and means the event executed normally. Pending is indicated by a yellow light and means that the event is about to happen, is processing, or has failed. The light will switch to green when completed. Failures will remain yellow. Let's quickly go through what each indicator represents. Jet tower indicates that the tower is about to be jettisoned. It will illuminate yellow a few seconds before jettison, and turn to green if jettison is OK. Capsule sep will illuminate yellow a few seconds before capsule separation from the LV. It will turn green if separation is OK. Retro SEQ will turn yellow when the retro sequence has started, and green when completed. It is started when the time to retro timer reaches 0, or the execute button next to the light is pressed. Retrograde is what enables you to fire the retro engines for reentry. The retro sequence will normally start 40 seconds before ignition. The retro delay switch selects whether the retro fire sequence will start 40 seconds after retro SEQ illumination, norm, or else instantly, INST. The retro ATT indicator shows you are in the correct attitude required for automatic retro fire. The retro will not fire automatically if the capsule is outside the range of retro attitude.
Ooh.
This is important as burning the retro engines
Had
in the
nothing
wrong
to do with
direction
anything,
may
but I
make
just
it
want to click it.
impossible to get back to Earth. Yellow is outside correct attitude, green is inside correct attitude. The retro attitude switch can be used to bypass the retro attitude requirement. This is useful if there are malfunctions in the gyros, attitude, or ASCS systems. Fire retro will be yellow 10 seconds before retro engines are fired. The retros can be manually fired by pressing the button next to the light. It will be green when fire retro is completed. On the other side of the panel, the retro warn and tone will indicate that the retros are about to start. Cancel if something is wrong. 60 seconds after retro fire, the retro engines will be jettisoned. Retro jet will be yellow 2 seconds before jettison and green if jettison was OK. After retro jettison, place the attitude select switch to reentry so ASCS can position the capsule to the reentry
Alright,
attitude
so this seems
automatically.
not as convoluted as I thought it would
now
be.
to learn how the craft reacts. Always be prepared to help the ASCS with manual attitude control, especially when setting this switch.
Are we doing it now? Oh,
0.05 G will illuminate when deceleration is detected. ASCS will set the capsule into a roll for a more stable reentry. Drogue can be manually deployed by pressing the button next to the drogue indicator. The programmer will deploy this automatically at an altitude of 21,000 feet. Snorkel will let outside air enter the cabin and set the O2 emmer mode on. A tone and indicator will indicate this. This will automatically open after drogue deployed. Main will deploy the main chutes. You can manually deploy this by using the button next to the indicator. This accounts for the reserve 2 if the main chute fails. Landing bag will illuminate when the landing bag is extended, making the capsule ready for impact and landing. A switch next to the button in auto will deploy it automatically 5 seconds after main chute, or instantly at man. Rescue indicates that your rescue equipment is deployed. The switch can be positioned so it is deployed at splashdown automatically, or instantly in man. A set of fuses gives you more control too. Look at the description of each one to learn what they do. For the programmer to operate correctly, ensure its fuse is set to 1 or 2.
Okay. Sure, that's
Set
good.
the attitude back to retro. The ASCS system will automatically maneuver the craft to the retrograde attitude.
Whee!
The next part of this lesson will take you through a retrograde burn, reentry, and splashdown. The retrograde time shows when the retrograde sequence will start, and the time to retrograde timer below is currently counting down towards it. The handle on the satellite clock can be used to modify the planned retro sequence time. Use time scale to about 30 minutes before retrograde.
All right, I will see you there. All right, leading into it, here we are.
We now need to reconfigure the capsule for the retrograde burn. Open the
All
mission
right.
pad checklists entry, pre-retro, TR-30.
Retro, there we go. All right.
Run the checklist. 30 minutes
right.
before retrograde,
Here we go.
the checklist will ask you to
Suit
configure
temp,
the temperature
7.
settings to maximum cooling. This is
Cabin
to
temp,
cold soak the cabin before
7.
entry, because the
Inverter
temperatures will
temp,
rise
7.
during
Okay.
re-entry. Follow the next 3 steps, then press Roger when you have set these.
Okay, then we gotta wait a little bit.
Use time scale to 15 minutes
15
before
minutes to retrograde.
Then press Roger to continue the lesson.
Okay.
The checklist will now ensure that needed fuses and systems are set up to ignite the retrograde engines.
What happened?
It will also ensure that the retrograde engines can't be jettisoned.
Phew.
Complete the steps, and press clear all when the maintain retro attitude manual step is flashing.
Oh, hang on. I think we went a little too far in the checklist. Okay, emergency retro sequence fuse. Hang on. Okay. Why is it? Oh, I guess because I already checked. Okay. Off. Freaking out over nothing here. Retrojet fuse false. Maintain retro attitude auto or man. Okay. Start retro checklist. Okay. I guess I gotta wait for 5 minutes, or... Guess we're doing it. Okay. Hop back in here and burn some more time, I guess.
Excellent.
Oh.
The next checklist we need to follow is the actual retrograde burn checklist.
Okay.
Most should be automatic.
Again, I am
Run
freaking
the
out over
mission
nothing
pad
here.
checklists entry, retro checklist.
Count down to 5 minutes to retrograde. Should get a alarm popping in, or a light. There it is. Okay.
We will now use the time to retrograde timer along with the checklist guidance system to verify that the correct sequencer events happen. 5 minutes before the retrograde sequence starts, the next event will be the start of our retro sequence. During retro sequence, you can use the seconds handle of the satellite clock. The outer marks on the clock can be used to time things. Use timescale until retro sequence starts.
Okay. Okay, 5 seconds to retrograde.
The retro sequence is starting,
okay,
and the retro sequence light should be green. Monitor seconds using the satellite clock.
Okay.
20 seconds after this, an audible tone warns that the retrograde engine is about to fire. Remember that you can silence the alarm if you wish.
Oh, how bad could it be?
The retrograde engines will then fire 20 seconds after the warning tone.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
The retrograde engines will fire one at a time. Retro engine number 1 will immediately fire.
Ooh.
5 seconds after the number 2 engine will fire, and then 5 seconds after number 2 has fired, number 3 will fire. Each engine will burn for about 10 seconds. Ignition. All 3 retro engines will now fire one at a time. Use the satellite clock to count the seconds. Again, there is a 5-second delay between each engine ignition. Complete the checklist and skip the last start re-entry checklist step using the checkmark.
Okay.
Next we will need to jettison the retrograde engines. We do not want to bring them with us through the atmosphere.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
Run the mission pad checklists entry, re-entry checklist.
All right.
This checklist will arm the retro jettison squibs and configure the fuse needed to allow retro jettison.
Arm auto retro jet
fuse. Retrograde engines are jettisoned.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought we broke it. No, we just jettisoned the retrograde engine. Okay.
There go the retrograde engines. Good job. The next part will configure the ASCS to maneuver to re-entry attitude as we did earlier. Continue with the checklist to position the craft for re-entry attitude.
Okay.
When the capsule detects an atmospheric drag of 0.05 g, the entry begins. At this point the craft will start to roll as it enters the atmosphere. Use a low timescale setting until this is detected. It should happen at around 1 hour and 40 minutes on the mission timer. Timescale will automatically stop at this time.
Okay. All right, there we go.
The capsule is now touching the atmosphere and entry will shortly begin.
Oh boy.
Press clear all to complete the checklist. Next we are going to hit the atmosphere and the Gs will start to build. Let the capsule fly through the upper atmosphere for a couple of minutes.
Okay. Should we be facing the other way? You'd think. Well, I guess we're just gonna sit here for a little bit. Okay, I think we're finally... ASCS finally moving around. Hello!
We're building fast now. At this point, open the mission pad checklists entry, landing checklist. We will just reference it in this lesson.
Sorry, I had to get a picture of that. Holy cow. Okay,
Most of the entry is automatic and your job is to monitor the G load and altitude. The ASCS will take you through the atmosphere.
Okie doke. Oh, it's loud. Well, inside it's loud. There's no sound in space. Well, we're still 100,000 feet up. At 8 G's about. Marty, I'm scared. Still over 6 digits up in the air. Where are we even going? Oh. Is it bad if I made a Titan sub joke? I digress. Trying to look here, see if we're falling towards the west, or I guess I could probably tell from the outside, can I? Oh, it's really too high to really see anything. Okay. Is it the cloud? Is it the mountain? Who knows? Still just falling through the upper atmosphere. I guess we'll see in a bit once we finally start doing stuff again.
Okay, we are through.
Okay.
Let's take a
Oh,
look
crap.
at the checklist. The first item is to connect the Emmer Drogue deploy fuse. This should already be set, and will allow you to deploy the drogue manually if needed.
Okay, let's see. True, all right. 21,000 feet, we'll check the drogue chute deployment. So just gonna have to wait a little bit here. Can I look outside? No? Okay, I guess. Ooh, look, windows are smoky. Oh, okay, there we go. It's got the drogue. It's got indicators as to when we pull for the chutes. Okay, that's very good.
At 21,000 feet,
No,
the
I
drogue
don't gotta
will
pull anything.
automatically deploy.
Okay, then. Even better.
After this,
Okay.
the snorkel will automatically open.
Hey, there we go.
This will bring fresh
There's a
air into the
retrieval boat.
cabin and equalize the pressure with outside.
What? What?
The Emmer O2 will also flow, and you can silence the alarm.
Oh, God.
This brings oxygen at a
I
high
had sticky
fixed rate
keys
through the
enabled or
cabin.
something.
Next up are the main chutes. They will also automatically deploy at 10,800 feet.
Okay. And
Mains are out.
there you go.
At this point the RCS fuel will automatically dump, and the landing bag will extend.
Ooh.
The landing bag is a pillow used to soften our impact with the water.
Oh.
The fuel warning light will illuminate. Be sure to silence the alarm.
Oh, God. Shut up. There we go.
The next event is to splash down into the ocean.
Okay. I think that might be a little bit. Oh, crap. Were there steps we had to do? No. Oops. 10,000 feet, main light green. Okay, that's good. UHF. That's green. Okay, and now we wait. right, about ready to touch down into the water here. Here we come. Ooh, got a little
Excellent.
wonky.
We now have impact and splashdown.
Hey!
Reentry
Oh,
using
this is a
the
little
ASCS
disorienting.
together with the sequencer and programmer will make entry mostly an automated sequence.
Thank God. Well, that's going to do that for all the tutorials. So next video, going to be putting it all together. That should be out in just a handful of days here. If you're brand new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when that solo mission comes out. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Go outside.